Right, I've started work on the conversion now. The first job is to remove all the rigging. So I've got my little scissors, little men manicure scissor case thing, so I took them out of there and I just cut the rigging off at the various positions right at the deck and snipped them off. So I done the mast rigging first on the front, then I did the mast rigging at the back, and it looks a hell of a lot better. Once that was done, I then started cutting off the rigging for the smokestacks, because I've got to remove it because one, it's starting to sag, and two, I've got to repaint the tops of each of the smokestacks. So I just cut it off. Where was the first one? I think it was down here somewhere. So I just cut it off at the deck. But the good thing is I didn't glue the rigging in. So what you do, if you build this from the scratch, you tie a knot and put it underneath the hole down here somewhere, and then you thread it through and underneath the deck, and thread it through and underneath the deck, and thread it through and underneath the deck, and you don't glue it in. So what I did is I just cut it off there and just pulled it through the smokestacks hole with these holes here, and then just got my tweezers and then just pulled it out, and I just removed all of the rigging for each of the smokestacks. Very, very easy indeed, to be honest, not bad at all. But removing the rigging, you can see the dust better, and I've just been informed by my wife, Roy had a cat. And you can see all the bloody cat hairs all over the deck, especially around the middle area here with the observation platform. There's a ton of cat hairs all over this. So I'm going to have to probably use one of my brushes and one of those duster cans to get rid of all this cat hair and dust. But generally, it's looking a hell of a lot neater now. All the old rigging has been removed. Right, welcome back. I've now cleaned off the dust and the cat hairs off my Titanic. Using my stipple brush, I agitated all the dust and all the cat hairs with my stipple brush all the way down the deck, both sides and on the rear stern section, and you would not believe how much dust and cat hair came off this. So then I took it outside and got my can air duster with the straw and blasted it all away, and the decks are looking a hell of a lot cleaner, especially around that centerpiece with the observation platform. There's no cat hair there at all. But once I've done all that, I noticed a bit of damage on the front bow railings here, right at the tip of the bow. You've got that section there and the bendy piece at the front. I think Roy's cat has actually chewed that off. I just don't understand why he's done that. The only problem is with this Revel kit, that railing is actually moulded into the hull, and it isn't actually put on top like on the Academy version. Right, so if you remember from the Academy version in 2020, on the 1998 release, that back rail was on the plans, but it hadn't got a numbered part. On the subsequent re-releases, they actually did include that back rail, and it was numbered. So if you remember, I actually emailed the UK distributor of Academy, and they got in contact with Academy in Korea, and they sent me this bag of sprues. I've got 2 D sprues, which is all the railing pretty much, and I've got a G sprue. But they obviously didn't bother, they couldn't be asked to separate the bags, so this is what I got. And then I cut that piece off to put the one on the back on me 2020 version. Right, so this piece here, it is represented by, on the Academy version, it is represented by D sprue number 55, which you can see just underneath my finger there. But the only problem is that's too small. The distance between there and there is 20mm, and on the D55 it's only 10, so it's too small. But next to it, you've got D56. Now that goes on the bow railing at the back there on the Academy version. But as it's slightly bent, I'm going to measure that and replace that with that. And then cut it down, obviously, to suit. And this piece here, I'm going to have to cut that piece out and replace it with D53. And to be honest, I mean, if I look at D53 compared to that, there is a slight difference, but it is minimal. And I think once it's glued in and painted, I don't think you're going to really tell the difference, to be honest, not unless you look really, really close. Or maybe I could use D49, I don't know, we'll see that. If that fits, I might use that instead. But yeah, thanks to Academy for sending me those extra bits. So, but generally, the rest of it, there's no more damage from what I can see, so hopefully it might just be that I've got to replace on the railing. Let's see what happens. Right, so I've now cut the offending pieces off. So I've cut the bendy piece that goes on the right on the tip railing, and then I've cut that offending piece off there and sanded it down. So I'm going to go with 49 in the end. Right, let me just see if I can grab this. There's number 49. I'm just going to try and grab it with my tweezers. So that's going to go there. And then I've got my number, what was it? What number was that? 55. And it's actually 15 mil between there and there, not 20. And that will go in there just like that, and it fits an absolute treat. The trouble is, I'm going to have to use my super glue with this, because I won't be able to hold it in, you know, for the 6 hours that it takes for the glue to dry. So I'm just going to use super glue just to get it on, let that cure, and then top it up with the either the Tamiya Extra Thin or the Revel glue. But yeah, that's not looking too bad now I've cut all that off. Right, success. I've now got my front tip railing round the bend and got my other bit of railing to patch that up. Now, originally I was going with number 53, then 49 popped up, but part 49 was slightly too small. So in the end I went with part 53 and just cut it down slightly, and that fits an absolute treat. So with the bendy part, I just bent it round the nozzle of my gluing glaze. So I bent it round the bottom part of the cap first, and then got it round the top part of the cap to get that bit of extra curve there. And then I've just used some super glue and just like drew it round and on the edge of the other rail, the original rail there, and just curled that round. Let that set for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then got my cut off bit of number 53 and just ran the super glue again there all the way down and up. It's not 100% match, but it does look a hell of a lot better than the bloody chewed off rail. So all I've got to do now is just let that set. Right, I'm just about getting ready to go to work. But last night, what I've done is I've just got my newspaper and my masking tape, and I've masked off where I need to paint the white with the spray can. So you've got the hull, all the black of the hull. So that's going to have to be sprayed. So the masking tape, then it's got very low viscosity and it keeps peeling off. I've masked off the top of the hull, the superstructure and the decks with newspaper, and then gone round each smokestack with the tape to cover up on the paper, and round the tops of the smokestacks I've left those obviously exposed, and they're going to be spray painted in the white as well. So the next time you see this, it'll be white. Right, I've now took all the masking tape and newspaper away, and the white has gone down really, really well on my Titanic. And when I'd left you, I'd just got this all masked up ready with the masking tape and the newspaper, and the masking tape doesn't stick very well. So on Tuesday this week, I pushed all the masking tape back down when I got home from work, and then it was nice and dry outside, so I sprayed it outside, and then I sprayed the first coat of the white on. Now, when it dried on top of the black, it was like a whitish grey, you know, like my Starship grey on my Star Trek and Star Wars models, where I spray the grey primer on first and then I do a light dusting of white. That's how it looked. So I thought, this is going to need a second coat of the white. So then on Wednesday when I got back from work, it was raining, so I couldn't spray it then, so I sprayed it on Thursday when I got home from work. And I sprayed the second coat of the white on, and this is how it's turned out. It's really, really nice. You got the tops of the smokestacks as well. Again, they were black, and I had to spray the white on twice, because again, it was like the lightish grey. You can see the paint bleed where it's got underneath the tape. And even though I did mask off the propellers, somehow the paint's gone underneath there, so I'm going to have to repaint that propeller in the brass gold. But yeah, it's not too bad. Before I actually sprayed all this, before I masked it, I rubbed off the old Titanic lettering with the sandpaper, because I'd sealed them, so I had to do that. And on the underneath as well, I got rid of the Titanic and Liverpool off the back there. Turning it round to the other side. That propeller's okay, because the paint didn't get underneath from what I can see. But I'm probably just going to top that up with a brass gold anyway. But yeah, with the paint bleed there. So with the anti-fouling red, I tried my Sovereign Models one, but it was a shade lighter. So I'm going to pop to Hobbycraft over the bank holiday weekend and get me some Revel 36331, which is the purple red. But yeah, I can actually, while I'm waiting for the bank holiday weekend to come around, I can paint the smokestacks, because I've still got some of that Humbrol buff in the enamel. And I can do the hospital stripe, the green stripe with the Red Cross logo. But yeah, I'm liking this, not too bad at all. So that's where I'm sitting at the moment.